What the happened in that throw versus T1? That was diabolical. Tell us what the happened, please.
Welcome everyone to another season, another episode of Timeout, where we don't get to hear from the players, but actually the coaches behind the scenes and the maybe brains of the teams, we could so say. Please come down and join us. But before we get started, Six Fingers, hello.
Hello.
You're here, but you're not here. Where are you?
I'm in Indonesia right now.
Well, I'm glad we can still have you here digitally, right? Robo Six Fingers here joining us. All right, well, now that we've all gathered here, this should be fun because I just had a discussion with the Korean and Japanese team coaches, and there were some interesting discussions, some interesting answers, and I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Obviously, Masters Bangkok just happened. T1 takes the victory, Pacific back at the top of the leaderboard. And I just want to hear kind of your thoughts, watching that game, or do you think now, all right, Pacific really truly is the best region in the world?
They had arguably the most experienced players, right? And Stax is pretty much, I'm pretty sure, the most experienced player. You have Meteor. I mean, you have guys that have tenure, that know what it's like to play on that stage against guys that just don't.
Specific teams are showing up, and it's not only those two. I think the competition's tight. I think there's different teams that could qualify, yeah.
Meow, I want to ask you, just obviously a slow start for Team Secret, but how do you reflect on the team's performance?
We played very poorly. Like, we tried to change a lot from what they played last year, right? And I guess that actually was the poison for us. Since we didn't have too much time, I shouldn't have changed the team like completely, right? So for this stage one, I think I'm very confident.
Can you give us a hint on any changes you've made?
Roles, okay.
Okay. Six Fingers, we'd like to hear your thoughts as well, because obviously I think there was a lot of discussion around Boom Esports coming in and can they do well, can they hang with the best? And I think you guys surprised a lot of people with the performance. Obviously, I'm sure you would have loved to do more, but how do you reflect on Boom's performance at Kickoff?
Can actually my team competing with the Pacific teams, like especially the franchise one, because last time we only played in the tier 2, right? And turns out they played quite well. We just need to fix some of our mistakes. I feel like we still can compete here, and then I hope the best for the stage 1 for my team as well.
For the other coaches here, were you surprised at Boom's performance, or?
Not surprising both ways.
Both ways.
How they were winning and how they were throwing.
How they were winning and how they were throwing. Okay. Let's get into the first piece here of Timeout. Now, this is continuing on from last year, but we've got little O and X panels here. If you lift, it's the second one under the Timeout panel. So I'm going to throw a bunch of statements at you, and if you agree, you hold up the circle, and if you disagree, you hold up the X. First up, teams now need a full coaching staff in order to win. 1, 2, 3. So we all agree except for... What? Whoa, hold on.
It's hard. It's a really hard one because I was in the same boat. I needed to add someone. I felt like I couldn't do it alone. I think you can win just with one coach. It's not it's impossible to do.
Yes.
So
That's true.
Both ways.
That's true.
There's teams that can win with barely having a coach. Depends how much responsibility
True.
your IGL has.
It's possible.
It's just easier
It's
with
not.
that.
You are not likely to be successful if that were the case, but anyone can hit lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Winning an international tournament means that you can come back and beat your region easily. All right, everybody disagrees. All right, well, Six Fingers, you were very quick to put up your X. Why do you disagree with that statement?
Doesn't mean if you win something and then go back to your region, it's gonna be easier. I don't think so. Especially in the Pacific, because in the Pacific, we have so many teams that have different play style. Koreans have the structured one, right? And then we have PepperX with the one W gaming one, right?
Always paper.
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
We have structure, and then we have paper.
I think it just raises the level, Just because you play them every day, right? Like in scrims and stuff, yeah, we can do it too.
We have more time to practice than them now, right? We're watching them, we know how they're playing already.
Yeah.
While they don't know what we're doing now, right?
Yeah.
So I think that has a big part also.
And now new agents.
Yeah.
They didn't
New
really
agents.
nerf Tejo.
We'll talk more about that. Good scrims means that the result will be replicated in a match.
It's like a halfway.
Yeah, I'm like a half actually.
The way it was phrased is
it's like
no.
Yeah. Yeah,
The spirit of what you're saying
It's half.
it's like half for me also,
yeah,
actually.
no. Cannot simulate
Yes,
the
I
nerves, and
agree.
you cannot simulate the lights, and you cannot simulate the crowd.
How much are you learning from the VOD?
Oh, fair.
A lot less than if you
That's
get
true. It's
smashed.
better to lose, actually.
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
than
lose
learn.
your peak at least.
But also you don't want to lose all the time.
We can learn a lot when we're losing, right? Like where we're struggling and like what's causing this loss streak for us. Definitely can have a big effect for us in the tournament
I
too.
have a counter to that one, right? If
Yeah.
let's say you're going through a little bit of a streak, right?
Yeah.
And let's make it a little bit more specific.
Okay.
Let's say it's kind of like similar map, right? The same map.
Okay, sure.
And now you're losing. That means your VOD review is not effective, right? If you're making
yeah.
mistakes or you're finding new mistakes the whole time, that means just your macro of the map is just like you have so many problems, right?
Yep,
So
yep,
it's kind of hard. 40% win rate in scrim. I don't have a job.
We were not a 40% win rate team in scrims. We were
92.
cooked. We were cooked for until like March, May, around there, like somewhere between March, April, May. I don't.
But then it
remember.
picked up, right?
Yeah. Then we didn't lose anything, and then still went 0-2 barbecue with champs.
Champs, you
Unlucky.
must have gotten like 95.
Brother, champs.
talent, unplayable.
Brother, we were destroyed. When I say it was
Unplayable.
free, I literally could just go to sleep during scrims. We're chilling.
So from the outside, a lot of people always look at Pacific and they say, oh, Pacific's just chaotic and aggressive. They're just crazy. So do you agree? Okay.
Not one team
Yeah,
now.
well, most people
Yeah,
agree.
there's more now.
There are, yeah,
Yeah.
there are more now.
There's more now. It's
But-
not only you guys know.
You've inspired a nation or nations.
Some of the Korean team is now like mixing their gameplay with high risk kind of play. You know, if you can see like something like Nongshim, it's a very different play from the normal like DRX. Even like T1, they choose the high risk one. You know.
Alex, you said no.
I mean,
it's
I
still
think
just you.
I think that no. I think we're trying not to be. Like for
Ah,
example, the Korean teams, right? Maybe we're talking about Meteor and stuff, but I think it's players that come from Genji. Like they were just like, okay, I'm better than the guy, and they swing the guy, you know, kind of thing, and they pick one and run away. They still run away. You know what I mean? It's still within reason. You know, you know where they are. They are very much more aggressive. Same for T1. I think Meteor taught them how to play. Like it's a bit different now. I see them like using movement a lot more.
Okay, so for our next segment, we actually collected a bunch of questions from you guys, the fans of VCT Pacific, ahead of time. And
I'm sure it's all for Alex.
so before we continue, this season we've prepared little timeout cards for all of you. So you'll each get one. And what you can do with these is basically this is your superpower. And 6 fingers, I'll put one in front of you, but you can basically raise your hand or shout or whatever you need to when you use the card. So whenever you want to interrupt, just raise the timeout card. That pauses it, and then you get the floor. You can't use it an unlimited amount of times. Which do you think is harder, being a player or being a coach, and why?
Player, next.
Really?
Facts. You have to shoot,
It's hard.
think, play under the lights,
Get scolded by coach.
listen to someone else's game plan, and get yelled at.
Being a good player is way
Yeah,
harder
super
than
hard.
any coach.
Says, after a round ends, coaches are often seen jotting down notes. What are you writing down?
Mistakes, what they did good, and planning for the next round.
I just want to make sure that I remember what to say in a timeout because there's 1 minute, right? I kind of need to know like 3 rounds ago. I wrote this down to tell them that they're missing something, you know. So it's just there for me basically.
That feeling sucks.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I ran out of time, and I forgot to say this part also.
This one is coming in from the VCT Pacific Twitter. But the question is, do you prefer to follow the meta or do something new?
I mean, it's both, but I think my players respond better to like new things, new stimulus, you know. And I think it jots their minds. Well, I'm not very good at the meta in the first place.
There's no way how you can play something that's off meta on all 7 maps and have
about
it
that?
actually prepared.
How about week to week with 3 days practice? Come on, bro.
Have it
But I
consistent,
think
all of
that's
them.
a skill, you know. Like,
We made top 4
no, but
twice.
I think that's because you train in a
Twice.
certain way.
To me, it's the most effective way in franchising. If I go meta, there's a lot of counters to counters. It's actually more practice. It takes way more thought. I'll just keep you behind the 8 ball, not me. I know what's coming, you don't.
All right, well, now let's flip this because this is a different question, but from one of the Japanese fans, is how do you deal with frustration? Do you have anything that you specifically do? And Alex, they specifically...
Mine's on camera,
Well,
man,
they,
so-
they wanted to ask, how do you deal with it? Is it really just letting it out when you're not in a timeout?
I guess so. I never really thought about it. I mean, after a match is done, you know. I try to tell them, I try to be as calm as I can. Like, the result is finished, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah,
They're already stressed to like hear. They don't need that.
Right.
So, like,
Okay.
You get a bad rep for that one as well. Like, you always get caught. Like, there's no way you go like this and the camera's gonna be on you.
for sure.
It's just-
They're
I don't
waiting,
know.
they're like, please.
There's one replay operator that's just recording Alex.
Like,
We have to be calm and we have to provide solutions, Because if not, then everything is cooked at that point. Because you're like the beacon of hope that they have left when you call when you
you're
hit
the
that
final
button.
line, yeah. Who do you think is the most perfect IGL right now in the game? And let's say within Pacific.
To be honest, I like the way Munchkin call. Playing kind of default slow. It's not like very in a hurry to make some decisions. Like he played based on like the info first.
Stacks. I do know that he's the one who's arranging the team. Like when they're playing, he's the one who's calling everything. He's the one who wants them to play, right? I think that's very, very good for an IGL to do.
I'm not sure because we don't know him very well, but I think Francis is actually underrated.
Notion Red
I
Force.
think he's actually very good.
That guy is good.
Yeah, you know firsthand.
I'm just gonna be the homer and be like, I think
You gotta say
Cruz,
Cruz, right?
he's the best IGL in the Pacific. It's
Yeah?
just, it's not even close. Sure, you can talk about the aim and all that stuff, but like, guys, it's just free. Like, it just is what it is, man. Sure.
Oh, all right, timeout.
I'll counter you. Our new IGL.
Okay. Maybe.
Okay, how much can you
But
share?
I haven't seen it.
Nothing.
I don't know.
Nothing. That's where my
No.
timeout ends.
Oh, no. Fair.
Okay,
Fair.
but-
No, while you were saying your own player, right? I was like thinking, oh, why didn't we say our own player?
Well, he doesn't have one. He's lost.
So, what frustrates you the most as a coach when giving feedback?
The thing that frustrates me most about timeouts is basically what Frost pointed out. It's like you tell them what to do, you know it's gonna work, and they do the exact opposite. And then you time out again, like
Okay, and for our very last question, Alex, you don't have to answer this one. One of the fans is curious, have you ever been envious of Alex's star power? Like his branding, his popularity.
Has anybody ever told you you have star power, though?
no, I don't even. I don't tweet. I don't use Instagram.
That is
I
the
know,
funniest thing because I was at the Champions Fan Fest last year and there was a giant line for Alex's fan session for like signature.
Crazy. But I was beside Jen though, so it might have been.
You say that, but it was very clear that they were all there for Alex and not Jen, which is crazy to think about. For our last segment, I'm gonna go through and ask some questions, and you guys are gonna take your little timeout card here, and then you'll use that to point at who you think this is applicable to. So let's talk about the biggest news first. Who do you think will bring out Waylay first? On three. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, okay, we got a little mix and match here. You think you're going to? You voted for yourself, Frost.
Meaning they're gonna use it.
Yeah, so can we just assume we're gonna see it just day one? Your very first match?
Paper X.
Yeah, you voted for Paper X.
gonna
I
do
think
it.
we know why, but
Yeah, they always do something different, right?
I think you just have the players for it now.
Well, and she's tie.
Yeah, so you have to use.
If I can't, guys, it was easy. It was an easy layup, guys.
obviously some other changes came through in this patch as well. One of the other big ones is Taeho. Taeho's now been, we'll say nerfed, right? Especially the salvos now no longer being able to kill Killjoy's lockdown. So on the count of 3, I want you to point to the coach you think is happiest that the salvos can no longer destroy a lockdown single-handedly.
Oh, okay.
Or just
We're just following.
He should have been nerfed. This is egregious. Egregious. But hey, what are you gonna do, bro? The Taeho crutch was so real. Unbelievable, bro. 60% pick rate? His first tournament ever?
Usually they all climb.
yeah, because
into
people have to
a slight buff,
learn.
learning curve, slight buff, and then you get Harbor at the end.
But that wasn't it for agent changes this patch. There was another agent that received some big changes. That's going to be the ISO. So on this one, I want you to point to the coach that you think is happiest about ISO's changes.
Your ISO player's gone.
Do you think?
He has a new one.
Oh,
I got the best ISO player in the world. What are you talking about? Hell nah, right here, right here.
1, 2,
Give me
3.
all of them.
Everybody's voting for Talon.
Give me all of them. Hell no, I got Primi. I don't care.
Is this simply because the other teams, you guys don't really see any other team playing ISO that much, or you just think he's still...
T1's not here, so.
Yeah, I would pick T1 also, maybe.
Yeah, you would agree
maybe.
with T1.
Or T1 or Talon also.
All right, next up, of course, another big change this time is the map pool. Map pool changes again. Ascent is coming back. I know everyone's missed it so much. Icebox is coming back as well. And then Abyss and Bind are leaving us. Point to the coach that you think is happiest with the new map pool. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. You're pointing to Team Secret?
Yep.
Okay.
When we scrim against Secret, they're really good at Ascent. I mean, I assume that they will be very happy when Ascent going back in.
My win rate with Ascent was pretty good.
Right.
And Icebox.
Oh, okay, so you're pretty happy about it as well. Okay. Why did you vote for yourself?
Historically, we're good on Icebox in Ascent, and we had Bind as a ban recently, so it's gone.
It just
So
fits
like
your...
3, yeah.
Let's talk about the Ascent changes a little bit, though. Do you think like that B-wall change, Was it a long time coming? Do you think it's enough?
It changes a lot for Sova players. I'm curious as to what people will use to stop it. People are going to be way spicier about their picks now.
Well, that's a lot of the major changes in game, obviously, map pool, new agents. But this one, it's not an in-game question, but we just want to hear your thoughts. Which coach would you want to play for at this table? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. 3 for Alex. Ewok?
Sure.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Oh,
Everyone wants to play for Alex. Who are you? Are you pointing at Ewok?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very structured. And then like open to doing plays. You know, everyone can chip in.
Everybody voted for Alex. Just someone want to shout out why?
More freedom.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
GG. That's the exact word I was thinking of. GG. That's it. Well, but historically, that's what players have wanted. They like the freedom to be able to do the things that they want to do. Video games are art, right?
Sure.
It's a lot of science and math, but it's art. Playing is also sports. It's an art.
It's a performance.
Yeah,
it's a performance.
yeah.
And if you're 17, 18, 19, 20,
That's what you
don't
want,
want to think about macro. You don't want to get yelled at for micro. You don't want to think about vetoes. Hell nah. W gaming, bro. You just hold it and go.
That's it for the questions that we have prepared from here, but also I want to open up the floor now for any questions you might have for each other, whether it's somebody specific or just kind of you want to get opinions from the other coaches while we have this chance.
Are you planning for week 1 or week 2?
More than 2 weeks out.
They're playing
Prepare for
Youngster Red
both.
Force week 1. Are you looking forward to playing multiple overtimes again in week 1 and setting a new record?
We broke our own record now.
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
former one was
the
LCQ and
one.
Zeta.
Yeah, we broke our own record. Nice. Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah, every year. Run it back, bro.
Actually, I have one. To
Oh.
Alex, actually. What's behind the idea giving Jing a sentinel? That's the thing. I'm just curious.
There were some maps that you just can't force raise anymore, you know? Everyone like, where do we put this guy? But also after a while, you realize that now the duelist players are all transitioning to every role.
I actually do have a question for Six Fingers, which is going to be left out, but I'm just curious. What the happened in that throw versus T1? That was diabolical. Tell us what the happened. Please.
I think this
No,
is
no,
a
no,
good-
but he was
I do
live.
think this is a good question, yeah, because everyone was kind of curious.
Explain that one.
Here's the thing. The first time out, they become into like, in a hurry, like very reckless decision, and then like they forget about the objective when doing the default, like blocking the info, taking the space, everything, right? They forget about that. That's the first time out. I call it. They still didn't do it. And then after like we almost got the overtime. I guess like you guys curious why I pressed timeout, right? It's because like the players asked for it. I don't know why. What happened? Like if I remember, like they want to talk about something,
That
and
is-
then during
Oh, I
that
remember
timeout,
that,
I just like, okay, guys, just do your idea, just have fun, you know. That's all.
That's going to be it for all the kind of questions and discussions we have prepared today. But before we say goodbye, I just want to give everyone a chance just to kind of share your thoughts about the content today, and also obviously any shout outs to the fans that are watching, getting ready for stage 1, and what your kind of goals and aspirations are for stage 1. Let's start with Six Fingers.
For the fans, I can say keep watch and support the Pacific scene.
Yeah, just thanks for the opportunity. It's always fun kind of to do these things.
Same as everyone else. Thanks for watching this content, you know. I usually enjoy myself a lot when I meet all the coaches. I think it's nice to hang out with people my age group.
Thank you to everyone involved, fans, Thailand. I hope that Pacific wins this year, champs. I hope we are the one. If not, I hope we actually take it home, because I'm tired of it going to NA or EU.
Thank you to TS fans. Without them, we wouldn't be here right now.
For all the fans, thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this season of Timeout as well, and catch all the matches from not just these teams, but all 12 teams this year in VCT Pacific. And we'll see you in the live matches.